Hey, the Daily Purge is Friday night. Friday night, and I'm feeling all mother trucking right. How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing good. Or this afternoon, or this evening, or this morning, wherever you are in the world. And yes, we are all over the world. Our viewers all over the world. There's some things that I want to talk about today that just it hits me. As you know, my broadcasts, if you want to call them that, are all about the experiences I had during the day, right? And maybe the discussions I had or the people I spoke to that needed some assistance or some clients. And I had all of those today. I had people I spoke to, just without any obligation. And I had people that I spoke to that were clients. I had people I spoke to that are potential clients. I had people I spoke to that are looking for sort of joint venture opportunities with me somehow, who knows, but no expectations. So I just keep rolling with it. But here's what I said in every single situation is that, yeah, your business is great, or yes, you're doing a good job, or yes, it looks good and profitable. But what's the problem you're actually solving for your clients, for your customers? And I got to tell you, a lot of the people, what they said was something that hey Daniel, hey Jose, how you doing, brother? What they said was, you're solving a problem, but it's not really a problem. Let's give you an example, like a roofer, right? What's your problem you're solving? I'm fixing the roof when it's broken. Okay. What problem is that? Broken roof. I'm like, yeah, but is that the real problem? Is that really the problem? Is it the roof the problem? Maybe their real problem is it's broken because they don't have money to fix it. Maybe the real problem is they're getting wet when it rains. So do they have to fix the whole roof, or just fix part of it? Are you going in there to solve their problem? Or are you going in there to sell them a roof? Right? Good day, David. How you doing? That's the difference. I'll give you hey Jared. I'll give you an example. So I got a guy who wants to join our Humble Alpha. I'm keeping people from drinking dirt water or gas station coffee. Yeah, well, if they don't know that, Jose, I'm glad you said that. If they don't know that, then they won't see your coffee as a solution. They're like, well, this is how coffee's supposed to taste. I've never tasted it any different. You know what I mean? So how can you solve a problem that they already know that they have? If you have to educate someone on your problem, hey Paul, how you doing, brother? If you have to educate someone on their problem, then you're probably gonna have a tougher time selling whatever it is that you're selling, right? So that's just something to think about. And if you think about what problems you're solving, and they're not, well, I'll give you another example. Is this actually happened? So a guy cleans apartment building hallways with a pressure cleaner once a week, and it's a pretty good contract. It's like, I don't know, 10K a month or whatever, 20K a month, whatever it was. And he was like, and I was like, why do you got to clean the hallways? And he said, well, because there's the trash cans have holes in them, and when the garbage men come and they take them out, they put tracks on the floor, so I got to clean it up. I'm like, so you're literally just putting a Band-Aid on a problem that's just going to keep requesting. Why don't you solve that problem? He said, well, I don't, what, should I buy him new trash cans? I'm like, no, pitch for the what do you call it, the garbage removal, and give them new trash cans when you do that, and outsource it. No, I never thought about that. And they offered him the contract, $1 million contract. Why? Because he solved one problem that was leading to extra cost of cleaning the floors once a week, which they don't have to do anymore. They'll still have to clean it, but maybe not once a week. And so often we think, okay, I'm an HVAC guy, right? And I fix air conditioners. You go in and they say, I need a new air conditioner. You go, yeah, okay, good. Here's a new air conditioner. But what's their problem really? Like, is it just they want to be cool? They want to be hot? They want to be warm? What's their problem really? There's so many ways to look at what you do as a solution. And it's so many ways to be different than everybody else as a solution provider. That's where the big difference comes in when it comes to business, when it comes to making a difference. Even today, I was talking to some guys in the UK, big franchise, huge international franchise. My dog's here bugging me. International franchise, and they were talking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, never ending, just this discussion of who's got the biggest, the idea or whatever. And I'm like, guys, you're just talking into the wind. You're just talking into the wind. Where's your solution? What solution are you providing? Well, this is how you do it. Well, no, that's not how you always do it. And that's how you always do it. You're going to get what you always got, right? So there's different ways to look at that. I mean, give me a business right now, and I'll tell you what I mean. Give me one of your businesses. Like Jared, he does SEO and all kinds of stuff. Hey, Olga. So let's say, for instance, Jared does SEO, and you tell me, hey, Steven, I'm really good at doing SEO. Let me do your SEO. You need it. And I'm like, I don't know what SEO is, so obviously I don't need it. So you got to educate me. But if you come to me and say, hey, lead generation, how you looking, Steve? I think I can really hook you up with some new leads. What are you doing right now? And then I tell you, say I'm doing, I don't know, a lead a day. You're like, do you have SEO? You're like, I don't know what that means. Okay, good. You don't have SEO. If just give me 1 day or 2 days to go into your system there, set up some keywords on Google. That's what it is. And your SEO will churn your leads from 1 to maybe 3 a day. How's that sound? You see what I'm saying? Now you're solving my problem. You're not solving my problem by telling me you're going to do SEO for me. I don't know what the hell that means, as an example, right? Ginger, apparel biz. There we go. That's a tough one, because what problem are you solving for someone? For me, you solved my problem here because you made this shirt, didn't you, Ginger? And this is the Have Investment Fund shirt for anybody who's wondering. So the Humble Alpha Veteran Empowerment Investment Fund. And the problem you solved for me was, I just need to write one email and you make it happen. That's perfect for me. So I have little time. Don't feel like going online and ordering, clicking, and da-da-da-da-da. So how can you make it that way for everybody? What's the easiest path to ordering with you, with people like that, with people like me? Who's your demographic, right? Yeah, it is a sexy shirt, I know, right? You got the Vetpreneur tribe on the side. Of course, the biceps help. No, I'm just kidding. So what can you do to make everyone else's experience like mine, right? What can you do to solve that problem of, Jesus, I got to go online, submit a request, and this, that, and the other. And do I want website visitors? Is that the simple question? No, because website visitors don't mean leads to me. Talk in my language, right? Talk on my mortgages. David, man, you know what? We were in the mortgage business, my brother. And we niched on hard to close. Sorry, hard to finance. We like troubled people who didn't have any business or didn't have any money or couldn't get a mortgage. We specialized in that, and we freaking crushed it. Okay, so very much, for instance, because we solved the problem. They couldn't get a mortgage, we get it for them. Print on demand, we did that. Very sexy. Coffee business. Coffee, you know, that's a tough one, you know. Sometimes hey, Paul. Exactly. No shop speak, no jargon. You speak my language, Jared. Don't say, hey, you want more website visitors? I don't give a shit about website visitors. I want freaking leads. I want sales. How do I get sales, Jared? Can you get sales for me? And if you break off into some spiel about, well, you know, if we go into Google and we put in the keywords in and we do some SEO and then we're going to do the SEO and we get some backlinks and I'll be like, dude, what are you talking about? Is that sales? I need sales. Talk in my language, right? The language of your customer. So coffee business, you know, I've never thought about the coffee business. I do have a friend in the coffee business that's made, you know, he does 30 million a year or something ridiculous like that. Selling, what he did was he has coffee beans. He sells them online. He doesn't make his money from that. He makes his money from handheld coffee grinders on Amazon and the replacement parts, so that people can take the coffee and put it in there and grind it fresh every single time for every cup of coffee or whatever it is. That's where he makes his money. And they're stainless steel, high quality, that kind of stuff. So he solved the problem that you don't want to have one of those electric all the time, or you can't carry it around with you if you like to bring your coffee. So he had these like portable ones, these little thin ones. So I mean, it just depends what market. You always got to figure out who are you serving? What's their number one problem? Hey, Jeannie, how you doing? What's their number one problem, and can you solve it? And if you can solve it, how can you let them know that you can solve it without explaining it to them, without teaching them or having to school them? How can you do that? Right? That's the key. And that goes for us too with our investment fund. How are we going to find investors? We need to be solving a problem for them, right? And for instance, let's look at a nonprofit, right? Nonprofits are perfect because what problem are they solving, right? Well, yeah, I'm solving suicide, or I'm working on suicide, or I'm helping homeless children or whatever. Okay, me as Joe business owner, right? What's important to me when I donate? That it's a tax write-off? No, that's not important. What's important when I donate? Think about it. Hey, Tibor. Hey, how are you? What's important when a business, larger business, donates to a nonprofit? What do you think it would be? Feel-good factor, of course. Let's talk about that. Think about it for a second. What would you think would be the main reason that most businesses, where's my money going? Yeah, okay, of course. Results, Chris. Good. Value. Okay, David. These are all nice things, but think about what it is that they would want from a business. Of course, they want to know their money's going in the right place. They want to know its value and you know, taxes. Of course, you can do tax write-off. That's easy. Okay, what else? Advertising. Tracy Tracy nailed it. And this is why Wounded Warrior Project did so well, because what they did, their Wounded Warrior Project is a veteran nonprofit, and they help wounded warriors, obviously. And what they did is they marketed a really cool logo where everybody wanted that freaking logo, right? They wanted to put on their business, we donated and we helped veterans through Wounded Warrior Project. Matter of fact, Under Armour loved their logo and their business so much that they have Under Armour Wounded Warrior shirts and clothing, right? So you see what I'm saying? If there's a non-veteran business owner, for instance, who loves veterans, they want a sticker for their freaking window. They want a logo on their website that they donated to X, Y, and Z veteran business, right? Oh, you are, Tracy? Oh, awesome. That's funny, man. You came up with the right answer, and you're wearing the right shirt. That's funny. You see what I'm saying? So if you go up to if you have a nonprofit and you walk up to a company, how can them marketing your logo or your nonprofit help them look socially responsible? And here's another thing. I have a friend, she does equity and inclusion and anti-racism, right? So, and she was talking to me about how she talks to, yeah, you're a target, Tracy. And she was talking about getting into the corporations and stuff. And I said, look, a lot of these guys and these business owners, I mean, these big corporations, they're just looking to tick boxes. They could give a shit less about what happens. So let's be serious. I worked in the corporate world. They wanted to look socially responsible. They wanted to put it in their annual reports. But what really happened, they didn't really give a shit about. And she goes, yeah, but that's got to change. I said, well, you're not going to change it. You're not going to change it by telling them it's got to change. You got to go into the business and show that there's a benefit to what you're doing and actually on the bottom line. She said, well, how's that going to happen? I said, well, that's something you need to figure out. Otherwise, it's just a Band-Aid. It's just a freaking Band-Aid, right? Okay, we took the equity inclusion course. All right, next. You know, that's not what it's about. What is the problem you're solving? How can they market it, especially in the social awareness area, social responsibility area? You know, back in the day, it was you had to have like green. You know, or not what was a big one back in the day? I forget. It was something like you had to be biologically whatever. I don't know. But there's always something coming out, right? There's always something coming out. Now you got to be like eco-friendly. You got to be like 50% solar generated. All these different things, right? And so when you're selling a product, when you're selling a service, when you're offering a service, when you have a nonprofit, even an investment fund. I mean, we're doing our investment fund different than anyone's ever done one before. Eco-friendly, that was it, Chris. We're doing our investment fund different than anyone's ever done before. And we have swag for an investment fund. Where do you ever see something like that, right? Where do you ever see something like that? So we're going a different route. Just be like Mike and just do it. There you go. Tracy. And so we're doing it a little different because we're solving an issue for, let's say, smaller to micro investors who want to get involved in a big way. And yeah, they want to sort of show it. And in the veteran space, we're creating a movement around Humble Alpha Veteran Empowerment, which is based on our book, Humble Alpha, right? Humble Alpha Veteran Empowerment, based on the book, Humble Alpha. So we're combining the Humble Alpha operating system and the veteran empowerment space together and making it one movement. That has created quite a movement, quite an interesting movement, and we're getting interest from some very big people, very big corporations. And we're having our first event on the 6th, 7th, and 8th of November in Houston, Texas, if you're going to be there. And you see Ginger, she'll be making the T-shirts for that. I still got to send you the design, sorry. But also at the same time, if you can think about this, is that because we're working with the Humble Alpha operating system and the veterans, people love to support veterans, right? The target audience isn't the veterans. They're the receivers, right? Target audience is those who support veterans. And now we've broken into the UK in a big way, right? So the UK is really, I mean, we're just gaining clients like crazy. Lane and I in our Humble Alpha Paradigm Upgrade Advisory Program, which you see on the bottom of the screen here, right here, right? It was, it's exploding. I mean, right now we have a group starting on Tuesday. It was 5 people from the UK, 2 dropped out, and we have 2 spaces left over at like a 80% reduced rate. So if you're interested in joining a group Humble Alpha Paradigm Upgrade Program, which is like 80% cheaper than the one-on-one, with a group of Brits who are in various businesses, it could be quite exciting. If you're interested, give me a holler. But you got to get done by Monday, otherwise it's not going to work. We'll just start with 3 then. All right, sound like a plan? I could go on forever, and ever, because this is one of my favorite subject matters. If you don't know the problem you're solving, you're not maximizing your revenue potential, period. Right? And I don't care if it's a gym. Tracy, okay, cool. I don't care if it's a gym. What problem are you solving? I can tell you real quick before I go. I got a guy coming to visit me from Austria tomorrow, a buddy of mine. I helped him open his gym in Austria last year. Well, 2009, end of 2019. He opened up March 2020 when COVID broke out, had to close 2 weeks later. Well, we found a way to open up again, and we solved the problem. What was the problem? People needed physical therapists. Physical therapists were what do you call them? Essential workers, but everybody wanted to train, but you weren't allowed because of COVID. So we hired what? Physical therapists in the gym, and suddenly it was a physical therapist studio, and we had all these members come in. Right? So there's always a way. So we solved the problem for the entire community that they could all train legally with physical therapists. Right? And so there's always a solution. When you can do that, then you're killing it. You're hitting it. You're what do you call it? You're, what's the word? Cooking with gas, I guess you could say. All right. Oh, see that? I just got an invitation Monday, 1800. Okay, there you go. See, that's a franchise thing in the UK. So how's that sound? Hey, Tracy, go ahead and drop me a message. I know we're friends now on Facebook, so we can chat about that real quick, and then we'll take it from there. All right, Sean. Hey, man. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And matter of fact, national TV was there, and the prime minister called him on a cell phone when we were opening back up and said, please don't open up. You're going to set us, please, and we'll take care of it, and we'll fix this and that and the other. And so he didn't open up right away. On live TV, he got called by the prime minister on his cell phone. Just this random gym owner. And then he opened up later anyway, because of course they didn't do what they said they were going to do. So it was quite cool. All right, everybody, have a fantastic one. Have a great weekend. Do something, right? Do something for you. Get out. Break out of the monotony. Break out of the routine and the rhythm that you're in. That, weekend, man, I can relax. Or weekend, I can work harder. Do something different. Do something for you. Me, I'm going to the city tomorrow night with my buddy, and probably one of my kids, or both of my kids too. So that should be fun. All right, everybody, have a fantastic one. Hey, thank you, Scott. You be well as well. Everybody else have a fantastic one. And remember, it's all about quality of life. See ya on Monday.